Adobe Commerce Architect Master AD0-E718 exam dumps questions can help you test all the related skills. Share some Adobe AD0-E718 exam questions here. 1. An Adobe Commerce Architect notices that the product price index takes too long to execute. The store is configured with multiple websites and dozens of customer groups. Which two ways can the architect shorten the full price index execution time? Choose 2. A. Enable price index customer group merging for products without tier prices. B. Set customer share customer accounts option to global. C. Edit customer groups to exclude websites that they are not using. D. Set mage_indexer_threads_count environment variable to enable parallel mode. E. Move catalog price_index indexer to another custom indexer group. 2. An Adobe Commerce Architect needs to set up two websites on a single Adobe Commerce instance with base URLs, example.com and website2.example.com. How should the architect configure this project so that both websites can use the same customer base? A. Change session cookie attribute to same site equals none. B. Disable session validation for http:/x_forwarded_ for header. C. Set cookie domain for both websites to example.com. 3. An Adobe Commerce Architect notices that Q consumers close TCP connections too often on Adobe Commerce Cloud Server, leading to delays in processing messages. The architect needs to make sure that consumers do not terminate after processing available messages in the queue when cron job is running these consumers. How should the architect meet this requirement? A. Increase multiple_process limit to spawn more processes for each consumer. B. Set consumer_wait_ for _max_ messages variable true in deployment stage. C. Change max_ from 10,000 to 1,000 for cron_consumer_runner variable. 4. An Adobe Commerce Architect creates a new functionality called Customs Fee, which adds a new total that applies to additional costs for handling customs clearance expenses. The extension allows specifying fee value for every website separately via the Adobe Commerce configuration system. The architect plans to cover new functionality with integration tests. One test case needs to confirm if the total is calculated correctly on different websites. How should the architect make sure that test configuration data is added to test methods according to best practices? A. Override setuo method. Receive instance of Magento test framework app config and specify value via setValue method. B. Specify at Magento config fixture annotations for the test methods in PHP-doc. C. Create a fixture file to configure Adobe Commerce and specify it in test method PHP-doc using the at Magento config fixture annotation. 5. A representative of a small business needs an Adobe Commerce Architect to design a custom integration of a third-party payment solution. They want to reduce the list of controls identified in their self-assessment questionnaire as much as possible to achieve PCI compliance for their existing Magento application. Which approach meets the business needs? A. Utilize the payment provider iframe system to isolate content of the embedded frame from the parent web page. B. Utilize the Advanced Encryption Standard AES-256 algorithm to encrypt all customer-sensitive data from the payment module. C. Utilize a trusted signed certificate issued by a certification authority CA, to secure each connection made by the payment solution protocol via HTTPS. 6. An Adobe Commerce Architect needs to log the result of a service class GE-DARA method execution after all plugins have executed. The method is public, and there are a few plugins declared for this method. Among those plugins are after and around types, and all have sort order specified. Which solution should be used to meet this requirement? A. Declare a new plugin with the sort order value higher than the highest declared plugin sort order and implement after getData method. B. Declare a new plugin with the sort order value lower than the lowest declared plugin sort order and implement around getData method. C. Declare a new plugin with the sort order value higher than the highest declared plugin sort order and implement around getData method. 7. An Adobe Commerce Architect is asked by a merchant using B2B features to help with a configuration issue. The architect creates a test company account and wants to create approval rules for orders. The Approval Rules tab does not appear in the Company section in the Customer Account menu when the architect logs in using the Company Administrator account. Which two steps must be taken to fix this issue? Choose two. A. Set Enable Purchase Orders in the B2B admin to true. B. Merchant needs to log out of front-end and then log back in to load new permissions. C. Set Enable Purchase Orders on the company record to true. D. Make sure that the purchase order payment method is active. E. Set Enable B2B quote in the B2B admin to true. 8. You are developing an in-house solution for catalog management which is implemented as a Magento module called My Company _My module. To streamline integration with the ERP system, you decided to expose My Company _My module's functionality via REST. What are the three minimum requirements to achieve this? A. Add WebAPI XML declarations for all methods to be exposed. B. Specify the parameter and return types in the PHP method signatures. C. Represent all functionalities which need to be exposed as service contracts. D. Specify the parameter and return types in the method annotations. E. Add cap annotations to all methods which need to be exposed. 9. You want to add an additional validation rule, allowed _symbols, to the telephone field on the checkout address form. You have created the validation rule and added it to the Magento _UI JS lib validation validator instance. What action is required to complete the task? A. Add your validation rule name to the Magento checkout model validation pool class $validation rules array parameter with the key telephone. B. Create a mixin on the validate shipping information method to add your rule. C. Add your validation rule to the Magento _checkout JS element validation validator instance. D. Add the validation rule name to the checkout _index layout in the telephone validation path. 10. Suppose you are working with order collection where you need to get the customer collection object in for each loop to check whether current order's customer account is locked or not. For this you injected Magento customer model $customer in the constructor to use $customer collection object. But in loop, when this object is used, you notice that it's returning the same customer even if you pass different customer id to filter the customer collection inside loop. What is the solution for this problem? A. Use proxy class for customer and use create method to get a fresh customer object. B. Use factory class for customer and use create method to get a fresh customer object. C. We cannot filter a collection in for each loop. Need to use load on customer model. D. None of these.